of Iron Man, and frankly, the journey of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe started with the journey of Tony Stark. And the exciting thing about Iron Man 3 is, yes, it's the culmination from Iron Man 1 and 2, but it's also a follow-up to the Avengers. And in a way that liberates it to be more unique than anything that has come before.
Mr. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, this is great. Good things tend to happen in threes. What we really have this time, and anyone who's read the script and the excitement getting ready to do this, is we've kind of earned the right to bring this to another level of complexity. And Shane, through his writing and directing, is making this by far the most ambitious, the most story-oriented, the most character explorative of all of these movies ever. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Shane Black's Iron Man.
Robert is the kind of actor that challenges you in a way that's exciting. Hanging around Robert keeps me on my toes. It's just a really challenging and invigorating kind of creative relationship, and I feel it brings out my best.
I'm here working for you. The Academy, there's even a camera. Hi! Shot one down! All right, we got that. 22,000 to go. Welcome to Tony's workshop. Having been reintroduced to my humility by Shifu Eric Oram, we're going to look at a previs and we're going to start talking shop. What I really like so far is this as the first command, is I'm in control. And then if this is what he's trying to do to call the first one, crap.
We've got the suit connect sequence, which basically involves Tony Stark trying a new move where he has control of the suit pieces. He's hoping that they're all going to sort of fly over to him and connect.
All right, I think we got this. Send them all.
Doesn't quite go as planned. A few of the pieces go AWOL, and unfortunately, he goes flying.
We're marking key points on his body so we can track wherever his body goes, so that we can then put the Iron Man suit on him. We're gonna get him, we're gonna scoop his legs up.
We wanted the ability to be able to suit up anywhere, anyhow, without
A giant gantry.
He's basically drilled little outlets subcutaneously beneath his exterior layer of skin that can draw the suit to him when he wants it.
Nailed it. We're at least setting up that there is a language that does stuff that would give us an opportunity to figure out what is it that calls the whole suit.
We like painting Tony into a corner and taking away all of his toys and all of the immense wealth and assets that he has and leave him with just his mind and see how he can get out of that situation.
This was the very first sequence that we storyboarded, the first sequence that we prevised, and the most exciting. We had it tied pretty early on in the process. The sheer panic that you should have throughout the sequence is that he's not going to make it alive, nor is Pepper, nor is Maya.
The mansion was designed by the first production designer, Michael Riva, and he did a brilliant job. What we did is we tweaked it and made it a little different and bigger and changed the art, kind of shook it up a little bit so the audience feels like they're seeing a new place, but they're familiar with it. And then we built it on a huge platform on a large stage in Wilmington. It was built on a gimbal. And for those who don't know, a gimbal is basically a platform that can bend and tip and go like this. Well, this one just broke in the middle and just bends. And it's like the Brooklyn Bridge. They built this big steel armature, and they were literally able to just drop the set.
Robert was really interested in having Pepper do more in this movie, and I just say, I got you.
so hot.
There were talks of Pepper getting in the suit at the end of 2, but Marvel wasn't ready to do it yet.
Frankly, just didn't have a great idea of how to do it. But we really loved that image. We thought it was a striking image. And then Shane Black had an idea that there's an attack on Tony's house. And it's a lot of fun to see Pepper and Tony team up in a great sort of old-fashioned action movie way.
I didn't mind wearing the suit at all. I thought it was light and perfectly comfortable, and my children thought I was extremely cool.
I don't want to stay here. You're right.
Get here.
One of the things that I wanted to do is get as much practical stuff inside the house as possible. So whenever you're inside the house, we wanted to at least have a set on a gimbal and have the house splitting apart and have, rupturing and all this dust and debris falling and massive explosions coming in, and it was spectacular. So all the interior was done. It was a good basis for us. And then all the exterior stuff, it became 100% digital.
Early on in the development of the movie, we did talk about back to basics for Tony.
What if Tony Stark had to be James Bond for a little bit and didn't have his Iron Man suit?
So by the end of the first act of Iron Man 3, he finds himself in the middle of the United States of America, completely out of his element.
Ooh, it's brisk.
Tonight we're here in Rose Hill, North Carolina, which is the name of the actual town we're shooting, but we've also incorporated it as the name of the town in the script. It's actually doubling as Rose Hill, Tennessee, but it's got this fantastic water tower that we just thought was so great that we just wanted to keep the name.
We want it to be photoreal. We want to have a real sense that people live here. You know, Iron Man is probably our most reality-based franchise, and having this town a real place, I think, just underlines that.
And action. We came here a year ago, and this was the first place we came, and the entire town, it's hard to believe it, this little town was kind of a failed little town. It had kind of closed up. This whole side of the street, all these businesses have been shut down. It was the right scale for our movie. We wanted a whole town that was like in and out organic, so you go in and out the doors, you come out here. You don't need to put a backing out here. You would rather build a set in a small storefront. And luckily, this was a church, actually, before it turned into a bar. We got the parishioners to kind of shut down and moved them for 6 months, and we made it into a bar.
It's so seamless. It looks like it's always been here. It looks like it's been here for 50 years. He's basically turned the entire town of Rose Hill into a backlot that we can do whatever we want with.
We happened to bump into Tony Stark. My character's quite excited to see him, so she decides that she's gonna play with him before she kills him.
I still can't tell you, like me or you don't like me. Let's take a break, make me an omelet or something.
This battle comes to a small town, and it's fun to watch the dynamics of these people that are outsiders trying to get by, and they belong there about as much as he does.
Congratulations. You made the top 5 weirdest things I've ever seen.
We were up there for about 3 weeks, working from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. every day. I tore down a water tower at 2 a.m. in Rose Hill. I'm like, who does that, man? What'd you do at work today? I tore down a water tower.
He unleashes this huge torrent of water. We started planning this about 6 months ago, just this one water tower gag.
It's a lot of water, but you know, there's a nice little sweet spot for any talent that needs to be in there. But bear in mind also, this is probably about maybe a quarter of the amount of water that we're going to end up doing with second unit.
This is going to be great in the DVD extras. How's that, better? We wanted this film to have the best act 3 of them all.
Here we go.
You kind of think about images you want, and then how can we reverse engineer that into a really cool situation?
We're here tonight at the Port of Wilmington, and at this location, you're going to see all these different Iron Man suits swoop in at the last second and just go head-to-head with what essentially amounts to supercharged human beings.
Tonight, we're doing a lot of aerial shots where we got the helicopter up there, and he's getting the big wide angles of the final battle fight between Iron Man and Killian. Earlier on, we had a few stunt guys leaping off the ends as if they're trying to catch the CG Iron Man flying through frame.
Shooting here is amazing, but it's obviously a logistical challenge. So we come here to sort of establish the whole real location. We've taken apart different pieces of the actual structure. A control room, a moving cab, a piece of a wheel set, so that we can go in there with our actors, shoot all the amazing action that we need to make the sequence work.
I've been spending the last couple hours on wires and flying and getting to do stunts and really get my hands dirty, so to speak, and have a lot of visceral fun.
Sorry I can't be with you. As you can see, I am slaving over a hot trilogy.
Doing that kind of fight scene at the end of the movie was my favorite part of doing Iron Man 3. It was fun to kind of be wild and be a superhero and flip around in the air and do all this kind of fun stuff. It was great. Look alive, boys!
You're sort of dealing on one level with very real, organic, down-to-earth stuff, things like stunts and fight stuff and wires and jumping off platforms, etc. And then on the other side of it, you've got the visual effects team working round the clock.
We went sort of hog wild when we were told that there should be extra suits.
We created 41 suits. We have never done that. I mean, at the most we had created 3, I think, on Iron Man 2. So to try to keep them different is a challenge, but it's been really exciting to bring to life like Igor, which is this gigormous suit. Not to be confused with a Hulkbuster.
There's a couple of beats where you might see Heartbreaker or Hammerhead or all these like multitude of nicknames that they all have. But just for those few seconds that you see them on screen, you have to believe that it's a real practical suit. And so every single one has to be brought up to the same standard.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
It's been amazing. People seem to like what we're doing. To know that the world is watching is an honor, and there's a lot of pressure, so we just want to keep telling good stories.
Tony Stark is as popular as Iron Man, and that's what makes this so thrilling to see. And obviously Robert bringing that to life is a big part of that.
Iron Man 3 worked, and it's been 2 years of crossing our fingers, and tonight's the payoff.
Hi there, movie lovers. Debbie here with today's movie fact. Did you know that in the Avengers, Iron Man actor Robert Downey Jr. hid food all over the set to eat in scenes in which it wasn't scripted? Why not just ask for some? Make sure to click below to subscribe, on the side for more awesome content, and if you like my t-shirt, remember you can get one for yourself at the link right below this video.